Hello there. I'm going to take a minute today, a few minutes actually, and talk about Pokemon Gold and Silver on the 3DS. I downloaded these when they first came out. I was very excited to see my personal favorite of the Pokemon series, my generation, come back to a modern way I could play it again. We'll just take a minute to talk about it. First, I'm going to talk to the people who have played this game. If you played it, back in the day on the Game Boy and haven't tried it since, I'm just going to say, I ain't going to really say a whole much different. It's a great emulation of what Gen 2 was. It's a great emulation of Gold and Silver of the Game Boy on the 3DS. I mean, there's no lag. As far as I can tell, for it to be an emulation, which Game Boy stuff's pretty easy to emulate. So, I mean, you shouldn't really see that anyway, because who hasn't emulated these on, their phone or whatever else? But it's just really nice not to have to play it with touch controls after I've played so many emulator games on my phone, and I love it, if I'm at work, whatever. I love being able to have games on the go, don't get me wrong, but, having this game with a D-pad and buttons and having a really bright display, great sound, it's just really nice to see this come to your 3DS, and you can trade on here if someone else has the other versions or, whatever with it, what's compatible, gold, silver, and crystal. So that being said, if you haven't, got it on your 3DS and you're a fan of it, you want to go back, I definitely recommend it. It's only like $10. You should try it out definitely if you have played it and just have fond memories of it. But now that we've hammered that in, it's a very simple thing. What about those who haven't played it and have a 3DS, who've played other Pokemon games, newer people to it? Let me invite you to try it. Let me give you a lot of reasons why, or I'll give you my reasons why, maybe they're real or not. In my opinion, this is my favorite, and here's why. Number one, it did what a sequel should. Like, by textbook definition, if you looked up sequel, Gold should have a picture of Pokemon Gold and Silver. Should be right there. Like, what a video game sequel should do. It did so much. It took the original problems with the first one, the Psychic overpower, because in Gen 1, Psychics were ridiculous. They were overpowered. They went crazy. And you could just, I tried it just because I wanted to see what it was like, I remember them being strong, but, I played through not too long recently and just grabbed a Hypno, and he's just a basic, okay Psychic. I just, walked right through the game, no problem with him. He just, it was unfair almost how bad the Psychics were, and it was broken. So Gen 2 fixed that. We got the special attack, special defense stat fixed. We've got the experience bar showing up here where we can actually see where we're at with it. It's pretty cool. I don't remember Gen 1 had that. I don't think it did. Somebody make sure I'm right on that. I don't remember Gen 1 having that. I should have checked that first, but I remember this being cool anyway. It's colored. That was another huge thing. I mean, crap, the first one was like this calculator green or black. I mean, if you played it on the Game Boy Pocket, it was calculator. And then you got this guy, and it was just beautiful. It was so beautiful for a time, taking advantage of the Game Boy Color's hardware. It just looked so gorgeous. You had all these beautiful Pokemon colors matching the show. The show had been out by now, been out a while, and, it was carrying on. And here's all these Pokemon that match the color, the cards, and here they are in the game. It was like, whereas Gen 1, it was their first attempt at it, and you could look at it, and, they were learning Game Boy hardware, but they were also, even though it had been out a while, but they were seeing what they could do with Pokemon, how far they could push it. And the designs were pretty good for one, don't get me wrong, but the color palette and designs here look so much more better and so much more advanced. I mean, you can just see the difference when you compare the two. The gameplay, you can compare the two. Pokemon can carry items now. We got Pokemon dual types now. We got new types now. It just did so many more things. We got 100 new Pokemon. I think maybe 101 with Celebi. But, let's be real here. Most people didn't get it. I remember, trade events. It had a day and night cycle. You got trade with friends, the item, the infrared thing, which I think you can still do on the 3DS. It has an IR on it, on the side of it. So, I mean, all this stuff is faithfully recreated to this on the 3DS, but if you haven't played it, it's just got so much more to offer compared to the first one, and you really should see that. If you haven't ever played the first one, I recommend playing it and then playing this and see the difference. It's just staggering how much better it was, night and day, years ahead of it's just amazing how much a sequel can change for the better. And this is just a perfect example of that. And I invite anyone to go check that out, especially if you're making video games, you want to learn some stuff, and you hadn't ever played any Pokemon games. Go play the first one, go play the second one. Example of a sequel, textbook. It's for people to learn from. I mean, I know I keep nailing that point to the ground, but it's true. it's beyond true how it does it. Anyways, I can't stress it enough. It's a great game. Definitely check it out. It's not very expensive. Anyways, whatever you're doing today, be safe, be careful. I hope y'all have a great one. And I'll see y'all next time.